So, as Maria said, we are going to be having these sessions once a month, and within each session, we are going to be covering a different product from Sophos. Hence the name deep dive into Sophos products. So we are going to be taking each product apart and talking about the strengths, the features, and what is available, what you can do with it. So stay tuned for every one of these sessions. Before we start, we are very glad to announce you that we are having a promotion with Sophos. So promotion is as follows. Um, we have these gift cards per order amount. So for each order of new businesses, this is a key point here, is only for new businesses, no renewals qualify. Aside from that, anything else qualifies. So if it's a new business, um, if you're having doesn't matter the product, as long as it's a new business within Sophos, you can get these amounts per order basis. So if you have three orders from $3,000, you get three gift cards of $30 each one, because is a per order basis, so it's not cumulative or anything like that. So um, Sophos portfolio. This is the portfolio that we are currently handling at Sophos. So we have endpoint products, which will be our topic today, servers, mobile encryption, fish thread, zero trust. Um, and in the perimeter security, we have wireless, firewalls, email, switches. For services, we have rapid response and managed detection and response. And for our cloud, we have cloud optics and our Sophos Central as our managing console. Now, the integration that we have within all of these products is what we call adaptive cybersecurity ecosystem, or ACE, in which basically all of the products, they share information which is funneled, or this information hydrates the data lake that we have. So all of the information is poured into the data lake. Then our threat intelligence is able to analyze, correlationate, um, and process this information with our artificial intelligence engine, our Sophos Labs, and our security operations. And this is what we call Sophos X Ops. So this information is then again fed to all of our solutions to improve. So it's a constant cycle of improvement that we have in our solutions. And this it's able to be shared across multiple platforms like computers, mobile, servers, virtual machines, containers, cloud, firewalls, everything. And you have also the option to connect via open APIs to third-party integrations. And you can either self-manage these solutions or have them on managed services. So our topic for the day is our next generation endpoint. So with our next generation endpoint in EDR/XDR, we have a very full set of features that will help you set you apart from the competition. So we have adversary mitigation, which detects if someone is trying to make use of exploits to gain access to your systems, data loss prevention, web control, application control, device control, anti-ransomware, artificial intelligence, running since 2017. So it's already a 7-year-old artificial intelligence learning. You have root cause analysis, live response and threat hunting, so meaning that you can get tools to respond to attacks immediately instead of having to do a deep investigation and trying to see what you can do to stop them. Also, you are able to remotely disrupt any attack. So you have remote control via command line interface to mitigate any attack that might be ongoing. So when you have top rated endpoint protection, uh, which, as I mentioned, Sophos has been for the 14th year in a row being a leader in the Gartner's Magic Quadrant for endpoint protection. And when you combine that with our intelligent endpoint or extended detection and response, then you get what is Intercept Advanced with XDR. So, as we've been seeing EDR, XDR, let's define these concepts to know what they really mean. So, EDR basically is stands for Endpoint Detection and Response, and basically it's a set of tools that you get to uh, provide incident detection and response, threat hunting, hygiene operations, forensic investigation, remote support, and so on. So it's a set of tools that enables you to take control at the most granular level to provide detection, to provide your security operations within your environment. So with EDR, you get better information, more detailed um, investigations. You also get prioritized alerts. You get tools to respond and so on. Now, EDR is already an old generation product. Current generation is XDR. But what is XDR? Well, EDR, or Endpoint Detection and Response, our previous generation, only was a product to have server and endpoint visibility. Now, extended detection and response, XDR, its main focus is to have visibility over more products. So you have both your endpoint and servers, but also you have now network integration, email integration, cloud integration, mobile integration. So you're able to see what is going on in real time in those um, solutions, and you are able to make better informed decisions because you have access to more up to date and to more comprehensive data. Now, aside from this, there is a set of tools that you have available. So you have a threat analysis in which you are able to see very in detail what is going on. So you have the threat, the root cause, what was the beacon that detected that there was a threat, and what is the information that happened. So in the root cause analysis, it'll look something like this. So you have your threat, you have your beacon, and it's able to do a reverse engineering of what happened with the attack. So you will know what files were involved, what processes were involved, what registry keys, what applications, what network addresses or IP addresses were accessed as well. So you will have a comprehensive tree about what happened with the attack. But aside from that, you can click on any of the elements in here and you can see what is the composition of that specific file. So you will see what is um what is the reputation of that file. So if I have a non-bad reputation or a good reputation. Excuse me for a second. So we have basically a reputation meter to know what's going on. You can request intel on a specific process or file that you can send to Sophos Labs to get information about it. And that information will look like something like this. You get this report in which Sophos will tell you what are the components that are inside of it. So you have the hash uh, of the process, and it will let you know known bad files, known good files, what it's present, what it is present according to Sophos Labs for a more detailed view. Also, you have live discover queries. So um, we get to see that you can do a query like a common SQL query. We have over 400 query templates already, and this is growing by the day. So you have consultations with the Mitra attack. You have for devices, for processes, for events, for registry, for users, for networking, and so on. So this list that we have here, it's growing by the day, and you can either see all queries or by groups, different groups, or even you can create your own query to get process IDs, for example, or network addresses, users that have access these specific network addresses and so on. So you can create your custom query or use one of the ones we have available. So as you can see here, there is different lists of queries available that you can use for your own. Now, also you have remote response capabilities. So you can use the CLI directly on an endpoint without being in that endpoint. So let's say you have an office uh, in Trinidad and you have a branch office in Jamaica. You don't have to travel to Jamaica or you don't have to use RDP to connect remotely to the endpoint itself. From the console, you can access directly to that computer via CLI and do whatever actions you need to do. So you can reboot the device, terminate processes, run scripts, edit configurations. You can do a lot of things with the command line interface, and this is available for both Windows and Linux. So, what are benefits that you are getting? Well, you have faster work times. You can do more things with less resources, and you can stay ahead of the threats. So basically, you're saving time, you're saving effort, and you're keeping up to date even better than people that have the time and the resources and are not using the proper tools. Now, what you have available, it's the following. So you have web control. These are basically the security features. So you have web control, device control, signature analyzing, deep learning for real-time unknown threats. You have application controls. Basically, this is a blacklist with a preset um, applications. And if the application that you want to block is not there, you just need to request it to Sophos and within 24 hours is added. You have heuristic controls. You have firewall control, IPS, host IPS. This is all for the protection. This is for preventing any access. Now, if something is just idle within the system and then it starts executing, then you have exploit prevention, in which, as of now, Sophos is the only vendor that can cover the 25 known exploit techniques in any of its derivations and combinations. Hacker techniques, if you have an active adversary. Rights extension is someone is trying to impersonate. Protection from ransomware. And this is pretty cool because it not only protects you from a ransomware attack, but also prevents the loss of data due to a start of a ransomware attack. So if by any chance the attack managed to evade the first layer of defense, ransomware protection will be taking care that whenever it starts encrypting a file, Sophos will be creating a shadow system, or it has a shadow system that basically will be making a copy of the file that is being encrypted right next to it. So you will have both the encrypted by the ransomware, but also you will have the safe and sound file. But not only it works on file, but also we have a master boot record protection. Sometimes some ransomware attacks, they are so sophisticated that they try to take advantage of your booting sector in your hard drive, and they encrypt the whole disk as soon as the computer is restarted, so you don't have even access to the basic uh, recovery options of your hard drive. So for that, we have also a protection within our ransomware protection. We have also protection from password theft, botnet traffic, AI threat search, and so on. And then when you have to respond to any of these threats, then you have ability to stop and kill processes. You have advanced cleanup tools, including Hitman Pro. We have the ability to do restoration points within the system. This is part also from the ransomware, that you can restore files that have been encrypted if there is any. And I say that is a big if, because detection and response time for any known ransomware is between 20 and 110, 120 milliseconds. So it's just on a fraction of a second that Sophos is making the split decision and uh, providing you the security needed. And it's highly, highly, highly uncommon for an encryption process to encrypt a file so fast. We have cause analysis, which was the tree that we were watching earlier. We have synchronized security. This is something that we have mentioned many times. Synchronized security happens when you have your Sophos endpoint and servers, and you have a Sophos firewall. And when you sync them together, they are able to automatically isolate the endpoint, provides some actions to certain threads. There are other threads that needs to be cleaned up manually, and until they are cleaned up, this endpoint stays completely isolated from the network to avoid any actions from external attackers or trying to call to outside of your network and so forth. We have threat analysis, as we said before, containment for quarantine, live session for remote responding, and threat search. So we have this broad set of tools available for us uh, in our endpoints. Also, there is to note that for endpoints and servers is basically the same. It's just that the server has a few extra policies, which is file integrity monitoring, which basically monitors the integrity of the operative system files and any custom directories that you may want to add. And also we have server lockdown. Basically, server lockdown is the policy that prevents any user to making any system modifications, even with administrative rights. So basically is an additional layer of security to avoid anyone with unauthorized access to modify anything within the servers. So that's basically it. And aside from that, Sophos has something that it's called workload protection, but this is part more of our cloud optic services that is included within our servers that we are going to see in its dedicated session for cloud protection. So basically, all of the features that we have been seeing here today and been talking about, it's about both endpoints and servers. Something to note here also is that for the endpoint product itself, it's only for Windows and Mac OS platforms. And for the servers, it's for Windows and Linux platforms. And even within those different platforms, they are a set of features that are or Linux only, or Windows only, or Mac OS only. So depending on the feature set that we are looking at, there are different policies and configurations that are exclusive for each operative system. Now, we've been talking about that this is the set of tools that you have available. Um, So it's work that you can do, but can you really do it if you don't have the expertise or the the manpower to do so? Doesn't matter how many tools you have, you won't be able to accomplish anything around it. So that is when managed threat and response comes into play. We are not going to deep dive into managed threat and response. Um, this is a separate topic as well in our deep dive uh, series, but we are going to be giving an overlook about what is MDR. Managed detection and response is basically a service on top of our XDR product. So we have Intercept X Essentials, which is the lowest tier available. Then we have Advanced. Then we have Advanced with XDR. And then our next tier, which is Managed Detection and Response Essentials and Advanced or Complete. Um, those are two service tiers on top of XDR. So basically, you are purchasing all in one. So if you have XDR and you want MDR, basically what you do is that you Sophos does a buyback. So if you have XDR, Sophos buys you back and pays you what you have remaining on your subscription, and then you purchase the service with the endpoint because it's sold together as a bundle. So when you get that, you have a security experts team that it's doing the threat hunting, the detections, and the investigations for you or with you, should you choose to do it. So basically, this is a 24 by 7 by 365 service that it's always you have somebody who is watching over you or watching with you. So you have proactive defense, you have high fidelity detections because whenever there is a detection, someone will be looking into that and taking the proper actions should you allow it. And also, you have total transparency about what's going on and control over the things that you want to. So, basically, as we mentioned, we have two tiers, which is MDR Essentials, in which you have threat response actions, adversarial detection, security health check, 24 by 7 lead driven threat hunting. This is something that I want you to keep in mind that this is lead driven. So whenever there is an indicator of compromise and alert, something about it, then you have a notification and they are going to be investigating that specific notification. And you have your activity reporting. So you will get a both weekly and monthly report about what is going on. But with the advance, this is one of the main differentiators, leadless threat hunting. So they can start a search about finding a threat, even if there is no alert within the system. So this is one of the huge differences. Also, you have schedule ops reviews, so you can schedule a session with the MDR team to go over what is going on with your systems and reviews about what is your postures, your security, which is basically linked to this one as well. So proactive posture improvement. So uh, they will give you a few tips to reduce your surface attack and so you can have a better posture when receiving incoming attacks. Also, you have a dedicated incident lead response. So basically, you will have specific people instead of a team, which will be taking care of you, and it will be your point contact. You have enhanced telemetry, uh, so you can have more information about other software services that you have already, uh, along with your MDR services and asset discovery. So basically, this will be like an inventory of the devices that you have already associated. And when I meant that either you can collaborate or authorize, this is what we have. So you can actually split the workload with Sophos team. So you can divide the tasks that you are going to be performing and so on. or you can authorize them to do anything on your behalf, and they will take care of any of the threats ongoing. So this is what it likes, looks like the monthly activity report. The weekly is somehow similar, just a little bit more detail about the what happened that week. This is a monthly summary. So this is basically it for now. I don't want to bother you with a lot of information. This is meant to be a brief sessions with uh, helpful information. Now is the time for any questions that you may have. So please feel free to open your mic and let us know any questions you may have.
Is it possible to get a copy of your presentation?
Brian, you're on mute if you're speaking.
Thank you, Kayla. I was saying that yes, of course, we are going to send a copy of the presentation. Also, we are going to send the recording of the meeting and everything, uh, maybe later this afternoon or tomorrow, um, so you can have it all, and also the reminder for our next session. Yes, Reginald?
Yes, Brian, I don't know how much the service cost, but if a customer would want to buy the product and do the do the work themselves, is there any training or thing available to help them develop the skills uh, to use the
Actually,
tools?
yes. Yes, professional services, they have an XDR training in which they are going to explain the ins and outs of the product and how it works, and a training for the detection and response as well. So if a customer would like just to get the product itself, which will be Intercept X Advanced with XDR, and get trained by Sophos directly, this is something that can be done as well. As for prices, those trainings we have to request pricing directly to Sophos, because as this is professional hour services or professional services hours, um, we need to request them pricing for that. But
Okay, thank you.
I think there is a package. If I'm not mistaken, is around 4 to 8 hours the training, and it's with a trainer. It's not a course that you can take online at your own pace. It's a people that will be there training you.
Good, thank you.
You're more than welcome. Any further questions so far? Don't be shy.
Um, is Are these services available? Are the pricing is available in the current price list?
Yes, they are. Um, in the current price list, you will have to search for managed detection and response. And there you will have all of the pricing available for both essentials and complete. And also XDR, if you choose so, is Intercept X Advanced with XDR, both for endpoints and servers as well.
Okay, thank you.
You're more than welcome. Any further questions? All right. So if there is no more questions as of now, I want to thank you all for joining for this session. Next session, we are going to be talking more in depth about MDR services. So stay tuned for the invitation and for the registration. And also, we are going to be sending you all an email with a copy of the presentation and the link for the recording. Thank you so much for joining and have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you. Have
Thank
a good
you.
day.
Enjoy the
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.